So shout out to the X Frontier. Casper has jumped in front of the pack as far as our news outline. But anyway, yeah, give a follow to the X Frontier. Why do you want to give a follow to the X Frontier? Well, for one, he's a good, or I should say great content creator. On top of that, he consistently covers Casper, so these other ones, XRP, XLM, Quant like us, and so on, HBAR. But he really, really, really stands out for Casper. So if you want continuous Casper updates like nobody else, I probably would say he is the go-to guy for your Casper coverage. So thank you again to him. Let's go ahead and get into this. So it says Casper is building infrastructure for banks and large financial institutions to do what? Tokenize financial instruments. One of the key themes tonight, and this is something we do here quite a bit at CTN, and that is we have certain themes. Some of your consistent themes where there's a pattern could be data, right? Jasmine, I might talk about, for instance, Nexera, some of these other things, and, have a key topic of data. Tonight's key topic should be what? Tokenization, and especially when it comes to financial instruments. Remember how some of this verbiage was mentioned earlier? Cool stuff. So it says at Nucleus Fin, and if you're wondering who the heck is that, they are a particular financial organization, I guess you could say, that speaks one language, joint venture of Casper Labs, building financial solutions on the Casper blockchain. All right. So it says Nucleus Fin is tokenizing these instruments using 32 contract types developed by Actus Research. Now, we have, of course, covered them before. And, Actus standard, if you're wondering, covers 98% of all financial contracts. Now, when we jump further down, it says the Actus standard was added to the financial instrument reference database alongside ISO 222 by the Office of Financial Research. Quote, a common language for a financial instrument used across the financial markets will improve data quality and, as a result, financial stability monitoring, according to James Martin, the OFR. Nucleus Finance partnered with WM Data Service, Europe's basically largest LEI issuer and data provider for the global financial market. And here's the juicy stuff, right? Get to the good, big stuff, all being built on Casper. That's one of your key takeaways you should take from this, right? At the end of the day, why you point out some of this stuff? Some of it might seem kind of, I don't know, I don't understand it. I'm new to crypto. I don't get it. That's fine. And we welcome that, right? We're all new at one point, but understand that is massive, right? If you have Europe's largest LEI issuer and data provider for the global financial market, check out what we just outlined for you earlier. We were talking about the BlackRocks of the world. We were talking about some of these other particular things. I'm telling you flat out, I had a guy earlier today. I don't really like his name as it comes across, but he seems like a good guy overall. I don't know, it's just some of the imagery in his name, but I gave him a follow back, right? Don't quite remember the exact name, but anyway, you might start seeing him in the comments more often. But he asked me a question. He's like, Max, should I swap my quant for Casper? My answer was no. I'm not that type of guy to do that. And then, you could tell that he really wanted just to have some Casper. And I said, well, out of curiosity, how much quant do you have? I'm thinking from the perspective, does he at least have a minimum of 10? And I don't know, he had 80 plus and so on. So, I'm not telling him to do anything really. I'm just looking for the perspective where I'm well, you have a heck of a lot more than I do, right? My next goal for quant is 20. We all have different goals. Some of us already achieved it. But the point is, you better believe that for people who are into quants or XRP or some of these other ones, XTC and so on, they recognize Casper. Casper is getting the attention of a lot of people. And it's not just because of, whether it's us or X Frontier and so on. It really, really is getting the attention of a lot of people because they look at it from the perspective of, I loaded up on, XDC. There's this thing called Casper. It sits right around the same price as XDC, right? And, let's face it, it is part of the ISO 222 mix, right? They have just as much key partnerships as HBAR. they have just as much amazing things going on for this particular blockchain. Perfect example is what you saw recently with the Paris Blockchain Week Awards, where they handed Casper, was it Blockchain of the Year award for 2023 so far? And you made me think, well, how could they do that? You know, it's this year's not over. I mean, I get that, but still, you know, they're not just going to hand it out to anybody. So let's get into just the last bit of this. It says Casper's flexible finality thresholds provide institutions with security, speed, prioritization based on value of transactions. This is just the beginning of the disruption to come. And here's another common, I should say common denominator, but you get what I'm saying. A common factor when it comes to Casper, if you're going to compare it to, like, for instance, your XDC. And that is similar to XDC, sideways consolidations, but do it for the longest time. Just like I mentioned before, don't sleep on your XDC. If you have Casper, don't sleep on your Casper either. I got a feeling that this one may also have that pressure cooker effect. So it says, quote, "We are in talks with a lot of large financial institutions that are getting ready to take that leap." This is from M. Parlikar, who is Meta Parlikar, and she's the CTO of Casper Labs. She's leading the era of Casper, I should say, is leading the era of distributed computing by giving every organization access to state-of-the-art technologies and services. And if you think about it, if you want to know what separates Casper from the pack, that in a nutshell lets you know. Let's play this for about 1 minute. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. I'm going to reshare this in a way for you can hear it. But this is cool stuff to see some of these things, right? So give me just a second to pull this up. And here it is again. And let's play this, and we'll come back into the comments. Thank you for being here tonight. And let's see what is up with this particular clip. Here we go.
So for us, a financial contract is an algorithmic representation. Plus, of course, it's still very important, the legal part. So we take the Actus standard for this. The Actus standard is an open source standard. It was developed over 30 years of research and development. The Actus is doing around 98% of all, covers 98% of all financial contracts there are. A bank, for example, a normal bank runs with around 6 to 7 different, let's say, cash flow exchange types. And this Actus standard, as I said, it was developed by Willy Bremmertz, and its exception found its way after the 2008 mortgage-backed security or subprime mortgage crisis, because no one understood what were the real cash flows that are potentially defaulting or that are potentially at risk. And we see that recently as well with SVB, because no one understood what was the future cash flows, no one understood what is the potential issue. And Actus has those 32 contract types, which are cash flows exchange patterns, to represent exactly that. It covers 98% of all financial contracts.
So there you go. That was a nice little breakdown in regards to it. Glad to be able to bring Casper to you.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have not yet subscribed, do yourself a favor and subscribe for more information on the ISO 222 compliant tokens, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are aware of the new videos when they come up. Max and I cover these ISOs, and we also have a live show every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in for that. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next video.